Good afternoon. Pretty much wherever you are in the United States right now. Marvin here with Bianca. Bianca's taking notes already. So, we just jumped on. We didn't tell nobody I was getting on this time. We got on. We're doing a test to see how our audio is working on Facebook Live. So anybody who's on here, let us know how we sound or if we sound at all. We might just be quiet.
You're talking kind of quiet right now.
Am I? It's going to be on a podcast also. So if you want to go on there to Apple or Spotify and see our podcast. We got a lot of them on there. I listened to some of them a while back. I was on the road. I listened to some of them just to see what I put up with from Bianca during them. It's a lot. We're trying to go on a charter fishing trip right now, but our agent, Bianca.
I'm no longer your agent.
She sent us on a no fishing trip yesterday.
No, I didn't send you. I said that you would know by the evening what the weather reports were, and I told you I did not think you were going to go fishing, but you were like, it's 2 o'clock. We got to go. I got to go. We got to go.
Well,
most people. I'm just going to talk so much shit right now. But
what's the
I think when you and Jody are leaving the house for things, is she trying to hurry up and get you out on time, or are you like hurrying up and trying to get her out?
Nobody has to hurry me up. I'm always ready.
But yeah, like insanely prior to when you need to be ready. Like if we have a group walk at 10 a.m. at 8 o'clock, you're like, we gotta go.
I don't like to be late.
But you weren't going to be late for a fishing trip that wasn't confirmed.
Yeah. Well, it was like questionable, according to our agent.
Except for your agent said highly unlikely.
She's like, well, you ought to go down there today so you don't have to get up at 2:30 in the morning. Or
No.
And I'm like, are we going to go or not? You might.
Hey, Paula Smith says hi.
Hey, Paula.
Oh.
I said, so should
I'm
we just
hiring
wait?
an attorney.
I said, so should we just wait to go fishing? No, you might ought to go.
No.
There's a chance.
You're making that up. I said, I don't think you're going to be fishing. I didn't say you should.
I said, should we stay home?
You could have
No, well, then you got to get up really early in the morning.
Oh.
So needless to say, we went down there and set up camp and got all of our gear ready, and they called and said, hey, you're not going fishing tomorrow. So we loaded up and came home. And now, if you got a boat and you're a guide, or if you want some fishing people to go with you, let us know. We want to go catch some...
It's not just any boat.
Well, no, I don't want
Marvin
to
wants to see your fishing reports.
Yeah.
What you've caught.
Yeah. That's what people do to me about my dog.
He wants
They're like,
to go
hey, you got
halibut
any
fishing?
references? You bet I got references. Got a lot of references. Got a lot of hurt people. Got a lot of well-trained dogs. So, but anyway, we're not going fishing until probably next year. I don't know.
As you can tell, that's going over really well for Marvin.
Yeah, I was ready to go. Everybody's like, man, we can go. I was going to go fishing for McCall's on the Columbia. Those fish that come from Minnesota. No.
No, I wasn't.
The ones that come from Minnesota.
I wasn't your agent for that. I wasn't.
But they are not catching none, or not catching very many or something. I don't know. So, walleye, right? Yeah.
You were too late.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I'm just saying if you
So now then the whatchamacallit's left.
Yeah. Marvin,
Some people.
walleye are the only fish that migrate in. So you can't just say the fish that come from Minnesota.
Well, how many fish come from Minnesota?
A lot, probably.
Really? I don't know that either. I just know that walleye come in, and there's a lot of them. And some people don't like them because they're eating the food that the salmon's supposed to be eating. That's what I hear.
So you can fill a boat?
Yeah, there's no limit on them. But they say...
We could go down to the Petco and get you a goldfish.
They say the guides try to limit to 10 per person. Just because they don't want to fish them all out, where the other people want to fish them all out and be gone. So you have that issue. We went fishing last year, salmon fishing, right? We all caught our salmon.
Yeah, we did. It was really
That's
fun.
pretty cool. So, are we going to talk about dogs?
Good question.
This is your show.
We're pretty good topic about fishing. We got anybody added into the fishing, Brett? Is there a brother on here?
They're probably all left.
No, they're all probably enjoying this. They're like, God, Marvin's
Oh, my
got
brother's probably watching fishing YouTube. Not this.
So, let's talk about the heat and the dogs.
Hey, that's on my list. Hot weather.
Good job. Because for me, the asphalt will be so hot the next few days.
I wouldn't even say just the asphalt. When it's
Concrete,
105 degrees, I would get the dogs
sand.
up early in the morning, get their exercise done out of the way early.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. They have a lot more playtime in the morning, and then they stay in the AC for the afternoon.
Yeah, and then we just take them in and out a couple times. Not as much as normal, just because of the heat. And we take them out on the grass too. They're not on the dirt, and they got to cross a little piece of gravel to get there. But it's just going to be. They say 105, so it'd probably be 100 here, maybe a little less.
70 here.
Yeah, it's cooler here than it is in Portland weather forecast normally. So, Brett, we got anything going on? So, Bianca, what topics do you have? We talked about the heat, because the blacktop,
How about you talk about what people should do for dogs that either have never experienced fireworks? Let's start there. What should you do with your 7-month-old puppy that has, what?
Oh, I've seen somebody take a dog by.
No way.
There.
Somebody
know
took a
why.
dog out?
Well, let's look at the times. So, for me, and I just talked to someone about this a few days ago, fireworks and dogs and puppies. And
But let's first talk about dogs that have not experienced fireworks.
Well, I think it's so much for me anyway, it's so much the human, that gets the dogs in trouble, because they sit around and comfort and hold them and talk to them and try to tell them it's okay. And for me, and you even talked about it the other day on here, get your dogs some good quality exercise in the afternoon, the evening, before the fireworks start. And me, I like to crate the dogs if they have any issues, and they have a zillion and one things. They got
Assuming
thunder
they're
blankets.
crate trained.
Yeah, they have thunder blankets, all kind of stuff. CBD. There's so many different things, but I think that crating your dogs for me is one of the big things. And even if you put them in a room, and turn up some music or something, or the TV, just anything that'll deaden the sound of it, because we do here in the kennels. We just turn the music up and the fans are on, and I've never seen a dog here, in 20-some years have a problem with fireworks.
We don't hear them nearly as much as you hear them in town here.
Right, yeah, we don't hear them. But even back in the day, we had a big fireworks display across the hill here, across Canyon. And our dogs never paid no mind to it anyway, because of the fact that they were outside, they were used to noise, and we shot guns around here, and there's all kind of equipment running around and stuff, so they really got used to it. But I think the hardest thing is for the lap dogs, that people get up on their laps, and if people's nervous are worse than a dog, and that really sets the dogs off a lot. So for me, really good exercise for your dogs in the afternoon, the evening before the fireworks start. If you can crate them, for me, I'd put them in a crate, turn the music up some or the TV up some to try to deaden the noise of the fireworks. And it works a lot better than hold them on your lap and sitting there waiting for the first fireworks, and then your dog's going to get upset. And Bianca, you got anything to add to that?
Would you play recording of fireworks before the holiday?
Would I play a recording? Well, I would get my dogs desensitized to it.
Yeah.
But just
Don't start with the volume on full blast.
Yeah, just have it down and for me, I'd be training on my dogs when I started playing it. I'd be having them sit, heel, down, jump up, load up, different things, and then I would have them to place while the fireworks were going off at a lower level. But a lot of the people can't even place their dogs when they move their foot, much less if they have a fireworks going off. So But I would definitely be training on my dogs, and if you have normally a good stay command on your dog in a place, it helps a lot. And I would definitely play them some. And like I said before, I done it with our horses. You know, we had horses that were scared of guns, and so I just go out and shoot guns, and the horses are fine. They run across the field and act silly for a little while, and then hell, now we shoot a gun, they come see what you're shooting at. It doesn't even bother them anymore. And the fireworks is a whole lot different. Or the gun, you know, if your dog's in the house and the fireworks are going off in your yard, you know, versus if we're going off across town, because like Bianca said, the noise level of it makes a huge difference with your dogs. And that's why a lot of people board their dogs here for the 4th of July, just because they don't want them at home around all the fireworks. And it's a lot less traumatizing for the human and the dog, I guess. So they leave them up here for normally over the weekend. Like now we got some dogs in today and this morning, and we'll have some come in this afternoon. They'll probably be here till Sunday or Monday or whatever. Some people, I think, said Tuesday they're going to pick their dogs up, but it just makes it really hard on the dog when the human's so wound up and so upset. Brett, you got anything?
Yeah, somebody asked about the dog contest that you're going to have coming up. When are you going to have that?
Hide and seek is planned for the 27th of this month. We do have a situation.
What?
There's 2 deer fawn living in the woods.
You know, I think they moved.
But if they're living there on the 27th, we will not be turning dogs loose.
Yeah, but we'll know a few days early. Because we'll go check. Because I rode through there this morning.
We think they've relocated.
Yeah, we opened all the gates up, let them go down to the creek, and we did that last year before last, and they move out of here and go down to the creek bottom, and they got grass, and they got water and everything down there, so we try to move them on down that way. But I was up there this morning, my side-by-side riding around, and I couldn't find her. And normally, if you ride through there, the doe will come out of there and watch you, and went up through there and couldn't find her, so we think she's done and moved off. Well, Brett, you got anything else?
Paula Smith said that she's glad to see that the hide and seek is on the 27th because we'll be back to participate.
Oh, good.
We'll be there for it. And that's it. We're all caught up.
I think that's going to be a fun thing, the hide and seek, as long as it ain't 105 degrees.
People are really looking forward to it. A lot of people are commenting. They're excited about it. They got excited about a lot of the videos that we created, you know.
We just got to get the rules solid, because there's going to be cheaters, you know.
We're going to be pushing the rules. People always try, man.
Yeah, some people just like go full extreme to be.
And we're back.
Oh yeah, so we're back on Facebook Live, Bianca and I. And we still, 19 years later, don't have very good internet. You know, it's better when I remember we used to have dial-up internet. You hear that click, 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 click all the time when you're trying to talk or try to do something on the internet. So we've gotten better than that. We've we got Starlink.
Yep, Starlink. Yep.
We have Starlink now, and we still have fight it, but it's life of living in the country, and I'll live here and fight the internet. We've even went to town though. Remember, we used to go to town in the motorhome and do internet.
Facebook Live in the Weimar parking lot.
Yeah, we might have to go back to that.
We might have to.
Hey, we never had no trouble there, right?
No, we didn't. I don't think we ever ran into an issue there.
So Bianca, we might just have to start doing that again.
All right.
We could, yeah.
Yeah, we just load up our shit in the motorhome and haul ass town. So like a whole 10 minutes away. Get off the mountain. So, Bianca, what do you got wrote down over there for subjects?
Paula Smith says, hi from PDX, waiting to leave for Denver.
Good luck. Have fun. It's going to be cooler there than here, I bet.
Denver, Colorado.
Maybe not, though.
Probably nice around that. I think it's very similar to the Pacific Northwest.
Denver's a mile high, though, so they might be a little cooler.
Probably right.
What do you got wrote down there to talk about?
Nothing. We've covered it.
Oh. So let's talk about, for me, and we talked, I don't know, were we on the internet the other day when we talked how much better Rebel is now? Well, until your last trick. Than she was before you started the 100-day challenge?
A little bit, yeah.
And she's gotten better because you work with it more. But, for me, it's a really good subject to talk about when you're training on your dog. When you go too far, which I used to do a lot with my cow dogs. I mean, because I was just trying to get something, and I would get it, like you talked the other day, pretty good. And I would be like, I should quit right. No, I'll go one more and I'll blow it up, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel people do that all the time with their dogs because of the fact that my thing is, and I mean, for me, I've just proven over and over and over that it works. I could train my dogs 10 times in one day for 10 minutes and get a lot more out of them than I can train on them for, what is it, an hour and 40 minutes straight. Because I'm not just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, you know. And I get something and then I quit. I can go do something else, let them go play or get another dog out for me normally and train on them. And I'm not saying 10 minutes, you know, because a lot of times we'll train 20, 30 minutes, an hour, you know, because we're placing our dogs a lot. When you're place training your dogs, I mean, you could go 8 hours if you want, you know, whatever you want to do with it, as long as you're doing something else, you know, with other dogs or whatever. But I think that the hardest part is for people to just keep on, you know, trying to get this one thing down. And a lot of times for me, once I get something fairly solid, I'll add in a new item, new training, whatever, you know. And then if that thing starts bothering me a little bit, or I see the dog's like leaving the training thought, you know, I'll go back to the other thing that my dog's really solid on. And I'll work on that some more and try to make that a little bit better because it's already doing so good. And I feel, you know, they set out of the house with one thing in mind and they just harp on it too much and it aggravates the dog too much. So, Brett, you got anything in there?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Paula Smith said, I may be going on a hike to walk a wolf.
Huh?
Not sure what that means.
So you're going to go on a hike and do what with a wolf?
Walk a wolf. Sound like a dog
I'm
walk.
have fun with that.
Paula Smith also said it's supposed to be a little cooler.
Yeah, I thought it would be in Denver. I think it's always cooler in Denver. I lived there for a couple months when I was a kid. Beans. They didn't like, well, probably didn't like me
It
either.
wasn't anything you.
Not me. We had an old boy, and his name was Spark. I mean, I'd like to look. He was cool. And cowboy hat to school, and every day in the morning he'd take it. We only went a half day there. He'd take his hat off and he'd put it in his locker. And I mean, he had a nice hat on. And one day me and him were kind of buddies, you know, because we were both kind of country guys. And we was walking out of class and getting ready to go home, and he got his hat out, and somebody slapped it off. Man, you talking about a dog fight now. I mean, they were going at it, and there the teachers didn't just come and say, hey, break this up. I mean, they just piled on them and apart. They call me go. They call him now. Boy, whatever it was, and I just couldn't get along. Somebody tried to start shit, and I wasn't very good at running from it, so I told my brother I was living with, I probably ought to just move on back to Missouri. So I had a short school year there, and I went ahead and bailed out and went back to country life. So, Brett, you got anything to add?
Paul Smith said the wolf will be on a leash.
I'm totally lost.
I hope you're not going to be holding the leash.
It almost sounds like she might be bringing one home or something.
You got a
I hope not.
you got written up who's next in kin to get your dog.
Paula Smith found a good dog trainer, so she's like, I can just buy a dog, take it to Marvin Pierce
Yeah,
Dog Teacher.
I'll just go get a wolf. He'll train it. That's all right.
I rescued this coyote.
Yeah. Wild, right off the range.
Mariah Shore asked us, this is Mariah, since it's going to be hot this weekend, what should you do to keep your dogs cool?
Air conditioner. You know, I mean, I know this is going to piss off people, but you know, there's so many dogs live in this heat outside. I mean, they
Marvin,
shade
Marvin,
up.
Marvin,
They shade up.
Marvin,
If the dogs have
Marvin.
a choice, they'll dig down in the
Marvin.
dirt. Oh, yes.
The dogs that live in the AC.
It's hard on them, like me. I don't want to go live under a shade tree. It's hard on me. But I didn't say all dogs could. I said there's dogs who do, and they're perfectly fine because I know that from the past experience.
You cannot say dogs will be perfectly fine in this heat. It's on you when they say, "Oh, my dog will be fine."
Not these dogs. No, I said not these dogs.
Which dogs are you talking about?
The old farm dogs that live out there in the country
None that
life.
we know.
Well, I know some right now. I could go show you some of them. But the thing is, for me, with all the dogs, you should have some kind of fans on them. You know, a lot of people don't have air conditioners. And I'm sure that's what Mariah's talking about, Bianca. You know, we get dogs that come here and stay during 100-degree weather.
Because we have AC.
Yeah, and the parents go get in a hotel room that can't have a dog in. I mean, we have it all the time. So I'm not ever saying put your dog out in the heat. You know,
Just
like
make
Bianca
that
said,
clear.
I just have to make sure I make that clear. Don't tie your dog to the fence and leave him in the sun.
Don't ever tie them to a fence and leave them.
Yeah, but I think for the people who don't have the air conditioners, for themselves too, you know, everybody got to look out because there'll be a lot of people have heat strokes this weekend if they ain't careful.
Yeah, the people can't make it. I won't.
I'd have to be damn well shaded up, probably down by the creek in the beaver ponds. It'd be a little cooler, but I had to roll in the beaver ponds once in a while. But Jody will be out there in the swimming pool. But for me, the dogs like that, you know, and you just have to have fans on them. I mean, an air conditioner, shade, whatever you got. But me hauling dogs before, and I don't recommend this either because I don't want to get people in trouble, but I had an insulated dog box for my cow dogs. We would run across Montana or wherever, you know, and it'd be hot out, and I would just get a bag of ice and throw it in the dog box. And then the dog could go chill out on the ice, or he could lay by the ice and then still get the coolness off the ice. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. Take them over to your friend's house, got an air conditioner, hang out for 3 or 4 days. I mean, and like I said, it's going to be hot. And here, I hope it won't even get to 100 because we're a little bit cooler than the city. But I remember here a few years ago, we got 106 up here. And it stayed, the hottest it ever got in our kennels was 80, and we got fans going, so the dogs didn't mind it at all. And to help, I told them if they got hot, just go outside for 10 or 15 minutes, come back in, and feel pretty cool. So.
Which is true.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. So, but it is. It's just a lot for people to think about for their self, you know. And if you got family, you know, grandparents or somebody that's old, you know, make sure you check on them and don't let them just be a bully and hang out in the heat. Drag them over to your house where you got an air conditioner for a few days or something. And it's going to be hard on people this weekend. So, here these people down south in Texas are like, yeah, 100, that's pretty cool. What's the humidity like? So I don't know. But Brett, you got anything else?
Nothing new.
So Bianca, let's talk about crating your dogs. For the people who have a hard time with crates, I think for me, and we've told people before, you know, try it 3 or 4 months and see what it does for the change for your life and your dogs. You know, it's not like the end of the world. And
so much more complicated than that.
well, no, but I mean, if you get tired.
But no, let's talk about this for a minute. Even 3 years ago, I feel like you could have said, crate your dog some, and people could go home and try that. But there are so many clients, new clients, not clients that we've worked with, that if we told them to go home and crate their dog, they could end up with broken teeth. They could end up with like serious stress.
You've got to crate train your dogs.
Yeah,
you can't
but
just crate
you
them.
can't even just do that. The owners can teach the dogs to go in the crate, but
they can't hardly crate train them because they have so many more problems.
They can, but
hardly, I say.
the owners are capable of training the dog to go into a crate, but it's like it's a worldwide disaster right now. People's relationships with their dogs.
I was just talking about that the other day. Somebody asked me, they're like, what happened with the world and the dogs? I'm like,
Talk about it. Can you? Is that something that you can talk about?
It's
what's
like,
that?
Like
is that something you can break down and talk about?
It's so much more complicated because we could teach, which is why we don't do very many private lessons nowadays. But like we could teach an owner. I remember in the beginning I would always argue with Marvin, why can't you just show them how to do this? Why can't you teach them why couldn't you teach that person how to do this? Because it doesn't matter the skills. We can teach a person how to crate a dog, how to place a dog, how to make them behave well on a leash, how to teach them to be polite for greetings. But we get contact submissions of people who, and don't think I'm talking about you like Marvin says, we've had 3 contact submissions this week of owners who are trying to move in together, but they can't because one dog is trying to kill the other dog.
Or one dog can't get along with the other human.
Doesn't like the person. Or the 2 dogs aren't getting along. And sure, always we have to train the dog to do things. The dog has to learn right and wrong. The dog has to learn sit, down, place, come, etc. But we have such a more serious problem that's getting exponentially worse fast, where it's not as simple as you need to crate your dog.
I don't think it's gotten worse fast. We're just seeing more of them.
I don't think so. I think it's
because it's
worse.
been this. I don't even know if there's been a lot of difference in it for the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. I've done dog teacher, Marvin Pierce Dog Teacher.
Oh,
you know?
I think it's got.
I think we just see a lot more of those people coming out of the woodworks because some of them are trying to get help everywhere, but they're not getting the help they need.
Well, there's a lot
and
more
they come
trainers
here.
now that are saying if your dog doesn't like the crate, you don't have to use
Yes.
the crate.
Or if your dog don't like that person, put him in the back room when
Put
they
him
come
in the
over.
laundry room.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many, and you know, it's so weird because here a while back you was telling me about what are we being if we don't share a sandwich with our dog?
Oh yeah, the guy,
Resource garden.
The guy said a human said you're resource guarding your food if you don't share your meal with your dog.
Yeah. It's like,
crazy.
holy crap! It's like
that's crazy. That's like we live on a different planet.
we do, but the thing is, for me, and me and a kid this morning was talking about how many thousands of dogs that I've helped over my life have a better home, a better leader, and the leader having a better dog in their house. You know, the human alpha, because they change, and once they see how beneficial it is to be a leader for your dog and your dog respects you in all categories. It doesn't matter whether you're telling them to crate or place or lay down or drop a stick or, you know what I mean, not counter surf or not bite the neighbor. I mean, all of those things we train, but the moral of the story is some people you just can't change. Huh? You just went dead on us here. Your mic break?
No.
Oh. Sometimes you just can't fix that human. And we see that.
Hold the cat.
Huh?
Hold the cat. Hold the cat. You're tapping. You're tapping.
Oh.
The mic.
Sometimes we just can't change the
Sometimes
people.
you just can't change the
Yeah, sometimes you can't change the people.
So Mariah said, so I've heard it a million times over now, but what do you have to say to people that say certain breeds can never learn to recall or to be trained to do anything but sit with the people?
Well, for me, and I don't remember what dog it was a while back. Because I always talk about I've never seen a dog I can't teach a recall on. Not saying there's not a dog, I haven't met it. But here a while back I had one.
We've had to keep extra.
Yeah, we had one, I don't remember which one it was a while back that I was really like, holy shit, this might be the one, you know. But the people who, I just go back to it, the people who have that dog they can't teach a recall on, I haven't met it, or them probably. You know, not saying I can, because like I said, one day I'm going to probably find a dog that won't recall, but if you go check his heartbeat, it probably ain't beating. You know, he's probably laying there dead. The only reason don't come to me. So I think that the people who can't teach a dog a recall, I don't know, they may be out of the league.
I don't think that's what Mariah was asking.
I think it was.
What do you have to say to people that say certain breeds can never learn to recall or be trained to do anything but sit with the cookie?
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, I just say I haven't met them.
Yeah.
Maybe we could ask the same question to you, and then you could give.
No, I think she was asking a different question. But
Then you need to ask the other question,
I'll wait
right?
to argue when we're not on Facebook.
Yeah, argue. You hear that? Yeah.
Francesca Carson says, my dog Boots is scared
Hey.
of.
Francesca,
Hold on.
I need your help.
She said, my dog is scared of vacuum cleaner, gunshots, fireworks, and thunder.
You should come by, and we can't make thunder, but I do have guns, and we do have shot back, which is
We can
close
do some
enough.
lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because for me,
We had a border collie that we just helped
especially
with
the shop backs, you know, those are normally so easy to fix if you have the experience of fixing it, you know.
how to handle
And-
the situation.
Yeah, and the gunshots. Remember Jim Fisher's dog
Yeah.
here a while back?
Yeah.
We had
And
his
the
dog.
four-wheeler.
Yeah, we had his dog here, and we used. Actually, I went in the house, got a gun out, and we'd come out and shot a gun around. And Bianca rode with a bicycle with a dog right beside her, right? When I shot that gun, was that right? I think that was the one. Was it a four-wheeler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
And
Yeah,
you couldn't be around the four-wheeler with the dog either because it'd eat tires off the
So we
four-wheeler.
took the four-wheeler out
Yeah.
and shooting.
So while we was doing that, we just went ahead and got a gun. Was shooting a gun too.
Yeah.
But and I fixed. I don't even know how many dogs with vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. And I see you're going to be here in the Northwest in the near future, so you should bust on by here and we'll work with your dog some.
You can come work on that, and then you can help me with my problems.
I've known Francesca a long time. I don't think she'd even want to try to help you.
Sad.
Francesca said, my dog was, but she might be a little spoiled.
Yeah,
Talk about
a lot,
No
Talk about
way.
a lot.
No.
But
And then Francesca said, whenever she hears Marvin's voice, she minds a lot better.
I wish Bianca was that way.
And then Mariah gave an explanation, and she said, like, for example, people say sight hounds and huskies can't recall because it's against their genetics, and they are physically unable to. A lot of trainers, included I've met, said the same exact thing.
Well, but I feel that, and I don't know, the trainers don't even matter, but if you bring me that dog they can't recall, I'll show you how to recall it. I mean, I've got confidence. I don't even worry about it no more. That won't happen overnight, but it's very doable. We trained so many huskies to recall. I don't even know how many. Probably 20 or 30 in the last couple of years. I don't even know. We had 3 here from the Newburgh shelter at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've got a recall on everyone that come through.
Francesca said, I should be out west in July until October.
Oh, good. Come by and see us.
I'll show you the tricks I've been teaching
Yeah.
my dog.
Trick trainer Bianca.
Francesca said, what problem?
So, I was trying to teach my dog to jump rope. People will get a kick out of this.
I think so. I
And
thought
I've
she was
been
fine.
just teaching her how to jump up
Only
and
bad
down.
thing is you didn't video it.
Yeah, this is true. I was teaching her how to jump straight up and down, which took me a little while because she likes to parkour off of things. So I had to teach her not to jump off the door and off the wall, because at one point I did teach her to jump off the wall. So I got her really good. She was jumping up and down, but then I got carried away and she jumped over me. This is what happens every time I try to trick train. I want to do it so bad, but I'm freaking terrible at it.
No patience.
I suck at it. So she jumped over me, knocked a Diet Pepsi over on my desk everywhere, knocked my MacBook over, knocked my phone into a cubby I didn't even know my desk had, and it was lost for 3 days. And she was really proud of herself.
Yes, she laid there and grinned like, hey.
I am really good at obedience training and behavior modification, but I am a terrible trick trainer.
You ought to think about retiring from it at a young age.
I know, I want to do it.
Retire?
No.
I'll do it.
It's
Patience.
fun.
Patience.
And
Well,
it's cool when dogs do tricks.
if you have patience
I am not skilled at teaching it.
and you don't listen. You
I
listen.
probably listen to Francesca.
Probably don't listen to me. You listen to me really well on dog training, but when it comes to trick training, not so much.
Francesca said, I will trade trick training for obedience.
There you go. You can help me with her, Francesca. That'd be fun. I want to watch the video. It'd be fun to see how you could handle it from her.
I think
To
I
see
would
if you would
listen
argue
better.
with her
I
like you
would.
do me.
No, I'd be so respectful.
Really? Yeah. I
She
feel
said,
like.
could teach
If you
a
try to
dog-
help me, you just talk shit.
Francesca said, I could teach a dog to fetch a beer from the fridge.
Yeah, I can't. If I taught a dog to fetch a beer from the fridge, I think my dog would bring the whole fridge door.
Yeah. Or eat everything in it, not
Yeah.
bring nothing.
Bacon.
So, we got anything else, Brett?
No, that's it.
What do you want to add to this before we get off here?
I have nothing to add.
My fishing trip went south. So,
If anyone would like to send your condolences.
yeah. Yeah. My fish all left. Boat broke down. I was ready though. I was there.
We were.
Yeah, me and Brett both were like just ready, chomping at the bits to go, and then canceled it.
Right to the barn door. The barn door was ready for us.
Yeah. So I think we're going to bail off here.
You okay?
Any last sponsors, shout outs to anyone that you want to do before you get off?
Not the fishing trip.
Yeah, not a fishing guide. We don't got one of them right now. Weather's bad. The boats are broke. So no, I think we're good.
Okay.
We'll just bail off here, and then we'll see y'all the next time. Thanks a lot.